Hello, I'm Mary Nicole Teo,
Hi, and I'm Dr. Granville D'Souza.
and we are the Master Trainers for the Enneagram Spectrum Certification Program. Now, the Enneagram is a personality system that introduces 9 types, where each type has a different way of being, different way of seeing the world. We find out a little bit about what the motivations are, as well as the different areas that the types focus on. What is amazing about the Enneagram is that we all have a core type or preferred style, but we also have behaviors of all or most of the other types. This makes it a very dynamic system, which is really great for understanding yourself and for personal development. At the same time, it gives us an insight into how others behave, which is extremely useful, especially in times of conflict, so that we can understand others and have a change in perspective. So, Gran, tell us a little bit more about the certification program.
Well, in the last month or so, things have changed, right? COVID period has taken over and we can't do our live classes anymore. So now we have already come up with our Zoom-based certification. In fact, we just finished one run in April. It's now May, right? And of course, the demand has been higher. So we've been asked to do another certification again soon. So we are about to start one in June. Now, people have asked us, is it as effective? I think usually the question is it as effective? Because I believe people think that having a live class is going to be a lot better. Now, actually, on the contrary, I can't say it's a lot better, but I don't know about you, Mariam, but I found it a lot easier to do this, and I found it just as effective, in fact, more effective, because one, you can see everyone's face.
Exactly.
The other one is, right, we don't have to have too many breaks like tea break and lunch break. I mean, that's of course on the side, that's not the most important thing. But I think the engagement was constant, right? People asking questions when they were comfortable. Usually in live classes, you get some wallflowers, you know what I mean? When they are comfortable, they just sit behind and you never get to hear from them. But this time, people are active throughout. They're effective. I mean, what were your thoughts? Do you think it was the same?
Yes, definitely. And I think I like the fact that it came in bite sizes. It wasn't a full 4 days at one shot. So for me, the online was, definitely, well, I wouldn't say more relaxing, but definitely it gave us a little bit of time in between.
Yeah, well, it was less relaxing for us because it was constant. But I think in terms of effectiveness, I found it a lot more effective because of the constant engagement, right? The other thing which I also like to share is that I think the chat rooms were really helpful, right? Because we have a lot of practice with regards to the coaching bit. So just in case you're not so sure, we will introduce Wagner's WEBS profile, which is a profile which helps you to debrief your clients and helps you to coach your clients as well. And, well, I mean, that was definitely one of the more effective things we had during the class. And I really enjoyed that part because we could go into the classes and watch them also coach and debrief, right?
That's right. Yeah. And I think a lot of people were actually concerned whether it'd be just as effective, right? But because we were able to have breakout rooms, we were still able to do certain activities like the breathing exercises, the somatic exercises, even while it was online and we could observe people. I mean, personally, I still enjoy doing it online.
Yeah, and what about the presentations? The presentations at the end, especially on the last day. I mean, the preparation, they got into their chat rooms. When it came to the delivery, the best part is if there were 4 people in a group, they could have done their presentation, the rest were watching, and we could watch everything just as though we were in a live class. So just in case you are bothered about, is the live class going to be useful? To me, it was almost exactly the same. In fact, I found it a little better. Now, in case you're going to turn this into a business, right? Because some people just want to get coached and then they want to use it as a coaching platform with their clients. But if you want to turn this into a business, right after the class, I do conduct a 2-day coaching program, coaching for high performance using the Enneagram. And that allows you to harness and look into your coaching style to be able to practice a lot more with other participants. And I will definitely introduce a few more different things over 2 days. So that's a 2-day program. And then after that, if you again want to take it really seriously, we have an advanced program which Mary and I conduct.
Exactly. So this is really the basic level certification to give you the tools to train and coach in the Enneagram, as Granville has just shared. Basically, he talked about using WEBS, which is under Dr. Jerome Wagner's system. WEBS stands for Wagner's Enneagram Style Scales, right? And that's where it's a profiling tool that's extremely useful because it gives us an insight as to whether we're using resourceful behaviors or unresourceful behaviors, as well as to understand for each of the different types what our percentile scores look like. So if I'm not wrong, Gran, this is one of the most highly recommended Enneagram profiling tools out there in the world.
That's right. It's one of the most validated. In fact, I think the most validated. And Jerome Wagner started training this in 1970, right? The year roughly when we were born. We won't exactly say which year it was, but roughly around that year that we were born. So we won't want to say too much more because the objectives are laid out just below in their website. But you will get Wagner's book for sure. You get a manual and
his slides. He's
his
got about
slides.
174 slides, which is really very, very useful.
That's
In his manual, you have lots of charts, you have different ways of expressing the details about each of the different types or Enneagram styles. So you can't really go wrong with that because there's so much information. But learning it just through books is very different from actually experiencing it. So we would highly recommend for you all to either attend our online program or Granville's 2-day program as a follow-up.
Right. So I think that's all we need to say. We don't have to say too much more because the rest you can read for yourself. Any other questions, please email us and we'll be most happy to address them. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.